Picture yourself waking to the soft hum of a new day, the world outside your window still cloaked in dawn's gentle haze. You're sitting with a warm mug in your hands, the faint aroma of coffee or tea curling upward, and for a fleeting moment, you feel a quiet stir within, a longing for something more, something that makes your days feel alive with meaning. Yet, as the morning unfolds, that spark is quickly buried beneath the weight of routine, a buzzing phone, an overflowing inbox, the relentless pull of obligations that seem to define your life but not fulfill it. You're not alone in this. The modern world, with its ceaseless demands, digital distractions, and societal pressures to achieve, acquire, and appear perfect, often leaves you feeling adrift, as if you're running on a treadmill that never stops, chasing a destination you can't name. What if there's a way to step off that treadmill, to rediscover a sense of purpose that lights up your days, not by adding more, but by uncovering what already burns quietly within you? This is where Ikigai, Japan's profound philosophy of finding your reason for being, enters your life like a gentle guide, offering a path to a simpler, more intentional, and deeply fulfilling existence. Ikigai isn't about grand gestures or unattainable ideals. It's about aligning your life with what truly matters to you, weaving together your passions, talents, values, and contributions into a tapestry of purpose that transforms how you live, work, and connect. In a world that often feels chaotic and disconnected, Ikigai invites you to pause, reflect, and rediscover the spark that makes you feel alive, guiding you toward a life of clarity, balance, and joy. Let's embark on this journey together, exploring how Ikigai can illuminate your path and help you craft a life that feels not just full, but meaningful. To grasp the essence of Ikigai, we must first unravel its layers, for it is a concept both simple and profound, rooted in the heart of Japanese culture yet universally resonant. The word Ikigai combines two Japanese terms, Iki, meaning life or living, and Gai, meaning value, worth, or purpose. Together, Ikigai translates to a reason for being, or that which makes life worth living. It's not a single goal or a fleeting moment of happiness, but a dynamic, ever-evolving sense of purpose that infuses your days with meaning. In Japanese culture, particularly in the Okinawan Islands, famous for their centenarians who live long, vibrant lives, Ikigai is a way of being, a quiet compass that guides daily choices. It's the fisherman who rises at dawn to cast his nets, not just for income but for the love of the sea. The grandmother who tends her garden, finding joy in nurturing life. The artist who paints, not for fame, but because creation is their breath. Historically, Ikigai has no single origin, but is woven into Japan's spiritual and philosophical traditions, including Zen Buddhism and Shinto, which emphasize harmony, presence, and reverence for the interconnectedness of all things. Unlike Western notions of purpose, which often center on grand achievements or career success, Ikigai is more intimate, accessible, and holistic. It's found in small, everyday acts as much as in lifelong passions, in quiet moments of connection as much as in bold contributions. Philosophically, Ikigai is visualized as the intersection of four elements: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. When these align, you discover a sweet spot, a life that feels purposeful because it balances personal joy, skill, service, and sustainability. For you, navigating a modern world filled with stress, consumerism, and digital noise, Ikigai offers a lifeline. It counters the pressure to conform to external definitions of success, urging you to define your own purpose, to find joy in the ordinary, and to live with intention, no matter how small the step. Consider the texture of your daily life for a moment. Perhaps you wake to a phone that's already alive with notifications, each one pulling you into a vortex of emails, social media, and news that leaves you anxious before your day begins. Your schedule is a mosaic of tasks, work deadlines, errands, family obligations that feel urgent but not always meaningful. You might feel the weight of financial stress, whether it's stretching your budget to cover rising costs or resisting the lure of consumerism that promises happiness in the next purchase. Relationships, too, can feel strained as you juggle time between screens and loved ones, leaving you disconnected from the deeper bonds you crave. Beneath it all, There's a quiet question that gnaws at you. What am I doing all this for? You might feel stuck in a job that pays the bills but drains your spirit, or you might be searching for a sense of direction, unsure what truly lights you up. Ikigai doesn't ignore these struggles. It meets them with empathy and offers a way forward. It invites you to step back, to ask what makes your heart sing, what gifts you bring to the world, and how you can live in alignment with both. It's not about escaping your responsibilities, but about infusing them with purpose, so that even the mundane feels meaningful. Imagine starting your day not with dread, but with a quiet sense of clarity, knowing that your actions, however small, are steps toward a life that reflects who you are and what you value. Ikigai is the bridge between where you are and where you long to be, a philosophy that transforms overwhelm into opportunity and disconnection into purpose. The benefits of embracing Ikigai are as vast as they are transformative, rippling across every facet of your life. Mentally, Ikigai brings clarity and focus by anchoring you in a sense of purpose. Instead of being scattered by endless demands, you prioritize what aligns with your Ikigai, reducing stress and enhancing decision-making. For example, if you're a graphic designer who loves creating but feels trapped in uninspiring projects, discovering your Ikigai might lead you to seek work that aligns with your passion for storytelling, making each project feel like a step toward fulfillment. Emotionally, Ikigai fosters resilience and joy. When you live with purpose, setbacks feel less like failures and more like part of the journey. Picture yourself volunteering at a community center, teaching art to kids, not because it's prestigious, but because it lights you up. Even on tough days, the smiles of those children remind you why you show up, buoying your spirit. Physically, Ikigai can improve your health, as studies on Okinawan centenarians show that a sense of purpose correlates with lower stress and better longevity. By aligning your life with what you love, you're more likely to engage in activities that nourish your body, like cooking wholesome meals or walking in nature, because they feel meaningful, not obligatory. Spiritually, Ikigai connects you to something larger, whether it's a sense of service, creativity, or harmony with the world. Imagine tending a small herb garden, not just for the plants, but for the quiet ritual of nurturing life, which grounds you in a deeper sense of existence. In relationships, Ikigai deepens your connections by encouraging authenticity. When you live in alignment with your purpose, you show up more fully for others, fostering bonds rooted in shared values. For instance, if your Ikigai involves mentoring, you might form meaningful relationships with colleagues by sharing your skills, creating a ripple effect of trust and collaboration. In your career, Ikigai shifts your focus from external rewards to intrinsic meaning. A nurse, for example, might find her Ikigai in comforting patients, making even the most grueling shifts feel purposeful. Financially, Ikigai promotes conscious consumption by aligning your spending with your values. Instead of buying gadgets to keep up with trends, you might invest in experiences or tools that support your purpose, like art supplies if creativity is your Ikigai, leading to greater financial clarity and less waste. Environmentally, this mindset supports sustainability, as you prioritize quality over quantity, choosing durable goods and reducing your ecological footprint. Creatively, Ikigai unleashes your potential by giving you permission to pursue what you love, even imperfectly. A writer who finds their Ikigai in crafting stories might start a blog, not for fame but for the joy of expression, finding freedom in the act of creation itself. Across these areas, Ikigai doesn't just add value, it transforms how you experience life, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for purpose and joy. Contrast this with the habits that dominate modern life, which often lead to exhaustion and emptiness. Society pushes you to chase external markers of success, money, status, possessions, promising fulfillment but delivering stress. Consumerism tempts you to buy more, filling your home with clutter and your mind with guilt. Social media fuels comparison, making you feel your life is lacking unless it's polished and performative. Productivity culture glorifies busyness, leaving you overcommitted and disconnected from what truly matters. Ikigai, by contrast, is sustainable and soul-nourishing. Where consumerism breeds excess, Ikigai celebrates alignment. Where comparison breeds insecurity, Ikigai fosters authenticity. Where busyness breeds distraction, Ikigai cultivates presence. Imagine two versions of your morning. One where you're rushing through a checklist, anxious and unfocused, versus another where you start with a small ritual that reflects your Ikigai. Perhaps journaling about what you love or sketching for 10 minutes, setting a tone of purpose that carries you through the day. The latter isn't a fantasy. It's the promise of Ikigai, a path that's not only more fulfilling, but also more attuned to your deepest self. So, how do you discover and live your Ikigai? The journey begins with reflection, not revolution, and thrives on small intentional steps. Start by carving out a quiet moment, perhaps early in the morning or late at night, and ask yourself 4 questions. What do I love? What am I good at? What does the world need? What can I be paid for? Write your answers freely, without judgment, letting them flow like a stream. For example, you might love cooking, be skilled at teaching, see a need for community connection, and find opportunities to earn through workshops. Don't worry if the answers don't align perfectly at first. Ikigai is a process, not a destination. To deepen this reflection, try a daily journaling practice. Each evening, note one moment that felt meaningful, whether it was helping a colleague, gardening, or losing yourself in a book. Over time, patterns emerge, revealing what lights you up. To explore what you're good at, ask trusted friends or colleagues for feedback. What do they see as your strengths? This external perspective can illuminate gifts you overlook, like your knack for listening or problem solving. To identify what the world needs, look around you, your family, workplace, community, and notice where you feel called to contribute, whether it's mentoring youth or reducing waste. For the financial aspect, consider how your skills and passions might translate into income, even part-time, like freelancing or teaching. Once you have a sense of your Ikigai, bring it to life through small, consistent actions. If your Ikigai involves creativity, dedicate 10 minutes daily to a passion project, like sketching or writing, prioritizing joy over perfection. If it's about service, volunteer weekly at a local organization, starting with tasks that feel manageable. To align your work with your Ikigai, identify one task that feels purposeful, perhaps crafting thoughtful emails or mentoring a coworker, and do it with full presence. To declutter your schedule, review your commitments and let go of those that don't serve your Ikigai, saying no with kindness but firmness. For example, if your Ikigai is teaching, you might decline extra social events to focus on preparing a class, trusting that your purpose is worth the space. To cultivate mindfulness, try a 5-minute Ikigai pause each day. Sit quietly, reflect on one aspect of your purpose, and visualize how you'll embody it today. This anchors you in intention, making even busy days feel meaningful. To integrate Ikigai into relationships, share your journey with loved ones, inviting them to explore their own purpose. For instance, cook a meal with your partner, discussing what brings you both joy, deepening your bond through shared reflection. Challenges will arise, and that's part of the process. You might feel overwhelmed by the breadth of the 4 Ikigai elements, unsure how to balance them. Start small, focusing on one, perhaps what you love, and build from there, trusting that clarity comes with time. If you doubt your ability to find purpose, counter this by celebrating small wins, a moment of joy, a skill you used well. If financial pressures make pursuing your Ikigai feel impractical, explore low-cost ways to start, like offering free workshops to build experience. If you're stuck in a misaligned job, seek small ways to infuse it with purpose, like finding joy in helping clients, while planning gradual steps toward change. If distractions pull you away, create boundaries, like turning off notifications during your Ikigai-focused time. To sustain momentum, track your progress in a journal, noting daily actions that align with your purpose, like a conversation that felt meaningful or a task that used your strengths. These small steps compound, reshaping your life over time. Stories can illuminate Ikigai's power. Picture Maya, a marketing manager who felt trapped in a soul-draining job, her days a blur of meetings and metrics. Through Ikigai, she realized she loved storytelling, was skilled at writing, saw a need for authentic communication, and could earn through freelance content creation. She started small, writing a blog on weekends, and over time transitioned to a career that felt like her calling, her stress replaced by purpose. Or consider Kenji, a retiree who felt aimless after leaving his office job. Reflecting on his Ikigai, he discovered joy in woodworking, a skill from his youth, and began crafting toys for local children, finding purpose in their laughter. These stories remind you that Ikigai isn't reserved for the young or privileged. It's accessible to anyone willing to look within and take small steps. Ikigai harmonizes with other philosophies, enriching its practice. It echoes mindfulness, the art of being present, which you can deepen by savoring moments that align with your purpose, like the texture of a paintbrush or the warmth of a shared meal. It aligns with minimalism, encouraging you to declutter distractions and focus on what serves your Ikigai. It resonates with positive psychology's concept of flow, the state of being fully immersed in an activity you love and excel at, which Ikigai helps you access more often. Even Stoicism's focus on living according to your values complements Ikigai, helping you let go of external pressures and embrace what's essential. For example, a gratitude practice, writing 3 things each day that reflect your Ikigai, like a moment of connection or a task you enjoyed, can amplify your sense of purpose, grounding you in abundance rather than lack. These connections make Ikigai a versatile tool, adaptable to your unique life. As you stand at the edge of this journey, let Ikigai be your compass, not a rigid map, but a gentle guide. Reflect on one small step you can take today, perhaps journaling about what you love or doing a task with full presence. Notice the moments that make you feel alive, the skills you bring effortlessly, the ways you can serve others. These are the threads of your Ikigai, woven not from perfection, but from intention. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. Embrace the messiness, the uncertainty, the smallness of your first steps, knowing they lead to a life that feels like yours. Ikigai promises not a life without challenges, but one where challenges are met with purpose, where simplicity becomes richness, where every day holds a spark of meaning. Take a breath, look within, and start now. Your reason for being is waiting to be discovered, and it's closer than you think. _separator, _lions, _script, _separator, _.